This is Breaking News.
Good afternoon, I'm Alan Devlin.
And I'm Christine Johnson. We're interrupting programming now to come on the air with some breaking news that's happening on the Hudson River. We can tell you now that the FDNY does confirm a helicopter crashed into the Hudson River this afternoon. The NYPD saying that this happened in the vicinity of the West Side Highway and Spring Street, Lower Manhattan. A live look now here from our tower camera, this one near Jersey City. You can see emergency vehicles gathering, also some boats in the water. Again, we are getting reports of a helicopter that has crashed into the Hudson River off of the West Side Highway and Spring Street. The FDNY does confirm that now. Let's get to Robert Sumwalt, former NTSB. We have him on the phone. Robert, thanks for joining us here. We know that not a ton of information is known right now. The only thing we do know is that a helicopter is in the Hudson River. What are some things that are on your mind right now as far as what investigators are doing?
Well, thank you very much. The first thought that I have would be, of course, of those people who were on board the helicopter. Certainly, we're concerned about them. Now, from an NTSB perspective, the NTSB will lead the investigation. They'll be assisted by the FAA. And they will start documenting whatever they can. They'll be collecting video evidence. They'll recover or have the helicopter recovered from the water. If there are any survivors, they will interview them. They'll look for electronic data that may be in the helicopter in terms of microchips or anything that can provide data. So they will be ready to investigate this, and having worked for the board for 15 years, I'm very confident that they will conduct a thorough investigation. So,
Robert, was there any inclination that weather today around Manhattan could have been a factor in this helicopter going down there in the Hudson? Our understanding is that it was a pretty average day as far as winds go in the area.
Well, I think it's too early to draw any conclusions like that. So the NTSB will sort all of that out. I know that everybody wants answers. They want to speculate. My training from the NTSB tells me, don't speculate. Let's let the facts come out.
You know, just from a rescue point of view, if you can help us out in that area, Mr. Sumwalt, what are the priorities other than obviously trying to get to the people that are on board that plane? But what about preserving evidence at this point?
Well, I do think that the main priority is the preservation of life. That's the main priority. And hopefully there will be survivors. But then they will have, the NTSB will have the wreckage recovered. They will defer to the local officials to assist with that. But usually these avionics, these radios, they can survive being in water for a short time. And the NTSB has a good success with being able to extract data from those things, like engine monitoring, health chips, and things like that.
And you spoke to us there about some of those electronics, that data that comes whenever a vehicle goes down in this manner. The importance of a black box. We understand that most helicopters, of course, are going to have them on board. Can you walk us through the importance of what that will do as this investigation moves forward?
Yeah, and like you pointed out, I don't think there's an official crash recorder on the helicopter. But again, the NTSB has been able to get data from a lot of sources that aren't really used for crash were not intended for crash investigation. But you know, even iPhone video and position data can be very helpful. There's now equipment that broadcasts to air traffic controllers called ADSB, and that's constantly putting out speed and altitude and location information. And so all of this will help the NTSB put together a picture of what's happened.
Can you talk to us a little bit, if you can, about just the nuances of flying a helicopter in a metro area such as New York City? You know, what are some of the things that pilots need to be concerned about, aware about, other than, you know, flying, you know, let's say in more open spaces?
Well, that's a good question. I've never flown a helicopter. I was an airline pilot for 2.5 decades, and so that's really where my expertise is. So I would defer that to someone who has actually flown helicopters.
And in addition to that, would this crash investigation, is this going to impede on aviation in the metro area for the next several hours? Can anybody expect to see a change or a difference in takeoffs or landings at airports, you know, like JFK or LaGuardia?
I would not suspect so, and that's a really good question. But you know, this investigation, the wreckage is on. In fact, I'm looking at your video screen right now, your video feed. I'm in Houston, and I'm seeing WCBS on the TV right now. So anyway, I think that no, it will not. It should not impede traffic in and out of the tri-area airports.
All right, and Robert, I'm glad you are looking at the feed here now. So you're seeing the same thing we're seeing from our tower cam there on the Hudson in lower Manhattan there. When you look at this response, you see, or at least we saw earlier, a lot of the cruise liners in the area, the tour boats, they surrounded the spot that we believe the helicopter went down at. And then NYPD, of course, came shortly after. What goes through your mind when you look at this response from both law enforcement personnel, rescuers, and then also everyday people who were just out on the water when this helicopter crashed?
Yeah, I was at the NTSB when the U.S. Air crashed or had the forced landing on the Hudson. I was at the board then, and we saw the part of the success of the survivors was because of the just what you mentioned, the ferry boats in the area, local responders. They aided tremendously in the survivability, and so we are hoping that people were able to get out of the helicopter and be rescued.